Welcome to GeorgeWay Math TV.
On Monday, a local hamburger shop sold a combined total of 304 hamburgers and cheeseburgers. The number of cheeseburgers sold was 3 times the number of hamburgers sold. How many hamburgers were sold on Monday? Well, with any word problem, I know that I have to understand what is going on. So I'm going to break this down. Alright, so on Monday, a local hamburger shop, we've been told that they sold a combined total of 304 hamburgers and cheeseburgers. So a combined total of those two. So we're talking about two things right here. And the number of cheeseburgers sold though was 3 times. So the number of cheeseburgers that was sold was 3 times whatever number of hamburgers were sold. So now they asked that then how many hamburgers were sold? Well, to make this easy, anytime that I see a word problem that I know that they're talking about two things, like in this case they're talking about hamburgers and cheeseburgers. If I set up a table, that would be the best way to be able to do this. So I'm gonna do that right here. So they're talking about hamburgers, so I'm just gonna put H for hamburgers. Let me just move up a little bit. So they're talking about hamburgers and then cheeseburgers. I'm just gonna do this. And they sold a combined, so combined sold or number sold. There was a combined total of 304. So I'm gonna have a total always at the bottom right here. And the total was being given to be 304. But how many hamburgers were sold and how many cheeseburgers were sold to get that combined of 304? Well, let me keep reading this. The number of cheeseburgers sold was 3 times the number of hamburgers sold. So we don't even know how many hamburgers were sold. So first of all, we just have to put X for the hamburgers. But whatever number of hamburgers were sold, we've been told that the number of cheeseburgers sold was 3 times that. So the number of cheeseburgers sold will be 3x. And now they say how many hamburgers were sold on Monday. So I'm just solving for x for hamburgers. So I'm going to use this side right here to solve this question right here. So when we add these two, it equals this. So I'm going to have x plus 3x equals 304. And these two are like terms because there's a 1 here. Nobody can see, but there's a 1 right there. So 1 plus 3 is 4. So I have like 4x equals 304. And to get just the x by itself, I know that I have to divide by the number with the variable x, which is 4. And whatever I do on one side, I have to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to divide here also by 4. These 4's will cancel out. So I have x equals 304 divided by 4. 304 divided by 4, that is 76. So x equals 76, and x is the number of hamburgers sold that they asking us to find. So if they ask for cheeseburgers, it's 3 times that, right? So you would have I would have done 3 times 76, but they asking for hamburgers, and that is just x, and I got 76 for that. Not ain't too bad. Let me see if I really got this right here. Let me see this right here too. So a garden table and a bench cost $450 combined. The cost of the garden table is 2 times the cost of the bench. Now they're saying, what is the cost of the bench? And again, I have to make sure I understand this word problem right here. And looking at this word problem, they're talking about 2 things. It's a garden table and there's a bench. So if they're talking about 2 things, I know that I have to set up my table. So we got a garden table, so I'm going to put T for the table, and then it's a bench. I'm just going to do this. I'm setting up my table. And the table and the bench cost $450 combined. So combined cost. So I'm just gonna put total right here. So let me just put the cost. Since they're talking about cost, the combined cost is $450. But they said the cost of the table, of the garden table, is 2 times the cost of the bench. So they didn't say much about the bench, but they said the cost of the garden table is 2 times whatever the cost of the bench is. And we don't even know the cost of the bench, so we're just going to put X for the bench. But whatever that cost of the bench is, the cost of the garden table is 2 times that. So the table, I'm going to put 2X as the cost right there. And now they're asking, what is the cost of the bench? And the bench is X, right? So we're solving for X. And always, I know that I have to use this side right here to do it. So if we add these two, we get 450. So I have 2X plus X equals 450. And I'm solving for X. But these two are like terms. I'm just going to go ahead and combine like terms first. There's like a 1 right here. So 2X plus 1X is 3X equals 450. And I'm solving for X. So since I have a number of a variable, to get a variable by itself, I have to divide by the number with the variable, which in this case is 3. And what do I do here? I gotta do the same thing right here. This cancels out. I have X equals 450 divided by 3 is $150. So the cost of the bench, which is the X right here, is $150. And that's it. So that's not bad. So anytime I have a word problem and they talk about 2 things, I have to use the table and do it like that. So based on what they tell, if they tells me more, then I'm gonna have different columns for that. But whatever they tell me, if it ends like in these 2 cases, I'm just gonna use this side right here always to form my equation and then solve it. That ain't too bad. Now it's your turn. I want you to practice some of these questions on your own. That's how, you know, when it comes to math, that's how you get better. You need to practice, all right?
Please don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell to be notified for new videos, and share.